Have you ever seen a military plane streak across the sky and just wondered? Not just where it's going, but what it's carrying? Well, today we're going to dive into one of the most powerful aircraft ever built, and we're going to uncover a tiny, almost invisible detail that exposes its biggest, most dangerous secret. So, here she is, the B-52H Stratofortress. I mean, what a machine. For more than 70 years, this beast has been the absolute workhorse of America's long-range bomber force. It's an icon, right? A plane designed to project power anywhere on the globe, carrying an unbelievable payload. But that payload is where things get interesting. Is that plane you're looking at loaded with regular, conventional bombs for a routine mission? Or is it armed for the single most destructive mission you can possibly imagine? The official answer? Well, it's a secret, and that's on purpose.
And the reason for all this secrecy comes down to this one very old policy: neither confirm nor deny. For decades, the official U.S. line has just been silence. The idea is to keep your enemies guessing, right? It enhances deterrence. So officially, there's no way to know for sure. But what if I told you there's a loophole?
It turns out the key to cracking this whole thing wide open comes from a pretty unexpected place: an international arms control treaty. Yeah, I know, sounds dry, but stick with me.
We're talking about the New START agreement, which the US and Russia signed back in 2010. Now think about it. If you're going to limit the number of nuclear weapons each side has, you have to be able to count them. And that meant they needed a foolproof way to tell which bombers were nuclear capable and which ones weren't.
The solution they came up with was actually pretty brilliant. They called for distinguishing features. Basically, the treaty required a physical, visible difference, something externally observable, that an inspector could literally see with their own eyes to prove a bomber was now conventional only.
And let me tell you, this wasn't just some paperwork. This was a massive job. From 2015 to 2017, the U.S. Air Force had to physically go in and modify dozens of these B-52s, ripping out the wiring and hardware that let them launch nuclear cruise missiles, all to get under the limits set by the treaty.
Okay, and this is where it gets really cool. Because of that treaty requirement, there is now a secret hidden in plain sight, a physical clue that tells you everything. You just have to know where to look.
So what is it? What is this one tiny detail that gives the whole game away?
Okay, look very closely here. On the left, on that little blister on the side of the fuselage, you see a small horizontal fin sticking out. See it? Now, look at the bomber on the right. It's gone. It's just a smooth surface. That's it. That is the whole secret. So the rule of thumb is super simple. If you see that little New START fin, that bomber is nuclear capable. If the fin is gone, that plane has been converted to carry only conventional weapons, just like the treaty says. It's just amazing, right? This little piece of hardware, it's maybe 30 centimeters long, is the physical result of years of high-stakes diplomacy. That little fin is exactly what international inspectors are trained to look for, and now you know how to spot it too. But, you know, being able to spot this fin isn't just a neat party trick. It has some huge real-world consequences, especially when these bombers start showing up in other countries. So let's talk numbers. As of mid-2024, the U.S. Air Force has 46 B-52s that are still nuclear capable. Every single one of them has that little fin.
And on the other side of the coin, you have 30 bombers that have been converted. Those are the ones with the smooth sides, no fin.
So why does this matter so much? Well, when these bombers fly to allied countries, that host government often leans on the old neither confirm nor deny policy. It creates a situation that some analysts call willed ignorance. It's like an agreement to not ask the tough questions about what exactly is parking on their runways. And this isn't just a hypothetical. Take a look at this. These are the actual architectural plans for a huge new bomber facility at an airbase in northern Australia, designed specifically to host up to 6 B-52s at a time. And here's a satellite view just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about. This is a massive project. These are dedicated U.S. facilities, which makes the question of which B-52s are visiting, the ones with the fin or the ones without, a really pressing issue for the host nation. But here's the twist. just when we've all learned how to crack the code itself might be about to get erased. The whole system that gave us this telltale sign is on some seriously shaky ground.
You see, that New START treaty? It's got an expiration date coming up fast, early 2026. And with trust between the US and Russia at rock bottom, there's a very real chance it just dies. If the treaty goes away, the legal requirement to have that little distinguishing feature, well, it could go away too.
And it gets even more complicated. The U.S. Congress is already laying the groundwork to reverse all of this. New legislation has actually been passed that would let the Air Force start putting the nuclear gear back into those 30 conventional-only B-52s if the treaty falls apart.
A former B-52 pilot, Mark Gunzinger, put it perfectly. He said, "This is all a hedge against an uncertain future." The world today isn't the one people expected when the treaty was signed, and the strategic thinking is changing right along with it.
So we started with this tiny piece of metal, an unlikely, incredible symbol of arms control and verification. But its entire existence is now in question. If that small, visible clue vanishes from the side of these bombers, we're right back where we started, forced to rely on a policy of silence in a world where trust is the rarest commodity of all.